social media platforms are not distribution channels. Instagram, X, Facebook, LinkedIn, none of these were set up as distribution channels. And there are a lot of businesses I know trying to use them as distribution channels. They are not distribution channels, they're communities. Now, your business might not want a community, and that's fine. There's other options that are open to you. But if you're trying to use these social media platforms as distribution channels, the algorithm will work against you, your content will be throttled, and you will end up in a situation where hardly anyone is seeing it. They are not distribution channels, they're communities. One solution to this, or one thing you can do to mitigate this, now I would challenge this idea of we can't have a community, we don't want a community. I think that's the wrong attitude, and I would like to work with you to try and change your approach to that. But if you are determined that you don't want a community and you do just want to distribute your message or your information or whatever it is that you've got, if you're absolutely set on turning your back on this community and you just want to distribute, then one thing I would highly recommend is use YouTube. Figure out a way of packaging that content and information up in video form and use YouTube. Now, YouTube, as anyone that uses it will tell you, is also a community. However, everything you put on YouTube is indexed by Google, and the algorithm works in quite a different way. It's heavily based around search. I think it's a less competitive space for some of the content that you might be talking about. And so you can get quite good results by using YouTube as a distribution channel, even although at its heart, it is actually a community. You'll get more out of it if you use it as a community and treat it as such. But if you just see it as a pure distribution channel, I think you'll have a better experience than trying to do that with Facebook and Instagram and X and LinkedIn. So that, I think, is a really important thing to understand, is that social media is not a distribution channel, it's a community. If you want a community, figure out a way of putting that content on YouTube and make sure that it is titled correctly. Make sure that you fill out the description of the video and make it keyword rich as well, so that it's easier for it to get found. Now, these same people that are coming to me and saying, hey, you need to help us with social media, we need more out of social media, I always point out to them, they are doing that at a time when every adult I meet is telling me, oh, I wish I could spend less time on social media, or I've taken the apps off my phone, or I've detoxed, or this is great, I'm free from social media. So not only are these businesses pushing against the tide in terms of the algorithm, in terms of they're trying to use it for pure distribution when the channel's all set up for community, they are also pushing against the tide of their audience who are desperate, some of them really desperate, and seeking professional help now to spend less time on social media. And these businesses are coming and their idea is, well, we're going to do social media harder. No, you're not. Let's step back and take a different route to meet these people now. And the way that people talk about turning their back on trying to get away from social media, they're not saying the same thing about email. They do still use email. They see email as a function, a useful function, something that they need, something that they're connected to. Now, they sometimes get overwhelmed. They have this kind of fight managing their inbox, but by and large, they're fairly accepting at the moment that email has a place. And I'm not hearing that about social media. I'm hearing people dropping it. So I think you need to figure out a way of distributing your content, engaging with that community, sharing that information in a world where a chunk of your audience don't want anything to do with social media. That might mean you make greater use of email mailing lists. It might mean that you use tools like MailChimp or maybe something like Substack. It might mean that as part of your strategy, you just start emailing people or phoning them or visiting them. If you apply the 80-20 rule and start looking at this community, these people that your business is actually speaking to, who are the people that can really make a difference? You could fire something out on your mailing list, or you could go through your mailing list or your LinkedIn followers and actually pick out the people that you think, well, actually, maybe I should go and meet them for lunch. Maybe we should have a conversation. Maybe I should just take an interest in the thing that they're saying and share it myself. And that might spark some sort of engagement or deeper connection. It feels like everybody wants the numbers, the success, and the engagement without putting in any of the effort. And it just doesn't work like that. I'm sorry to tell you. There are no shortcuts. Thank you for listening. Share this with someone who needs it, and have a great day.